In the last hour, we have been getting reports in of a possible fireball or meteor over upstate South Carolina and also parts of North Georgia. This video from a dash camera in upstate South Carolina, I-85 exit 23, and you can see on the left side of the screen, look at that bright streak that comes through the sky. There it is right there on the left side. Also, we've seen videos coming in from parts of North Georgia as well, and several pictures. In fact, several emergency managers in various counties from Rockdale County up through Roswell and other parts in North Georgia have had many calls coming in of people saying, I saw a fireball in the sky or my house was kind of shaking from a loud boom. Hundreds of reports coming in from Thursday between 12:25 and about 12:40 across North Georgia, upstate South Carolina of a fireball or meteor, bright streak through the sky. And also new reports coming in that we potentially had meteorite fragments that actually entered the roofs of some folks' houses down in Henry County. Joining me now to talk about this event that has really been the talk of town over the last hour is Mike Henke, the operations manager with the American Meteor Society. Mike, thank you for joining me today.
Hi, thank you.
So what can you tell us about the expansive size and number and frequency of reports that you've been getting in the fireball log on the American Meteor Society website?
Well, I just started working on this maybe 20 minutes ago, so I'm putting it all together still, but we've received over 200 reports in like less than 2 hours of this event. They all come in like right away, and that did cause some like downtime on our site, but we were still able to collect all the reports and process them and print a map.
And that's where we start at 4. Good afternoon. Welcome to 11 Live News at 4. Thanks for being with us. I'm Cheryl Preheim.
And I'm Jennifer Bellamy. We are following that site that has North Georgia and really much of the southeast captivated. A fireball seen streaking overhead this afternoon. Maybe some of you saw it. Experts say it was a bolide. We're all learning about this right now. It's a rare meteor that travels fast enough to create a sonic boom and shake the ground. Now, this is video that you're seeing from a dash camera on I-85, this out of upstate South Carolina. Reports also came in from North Carolina and Tennessee as well. Here in Henry County, emergency crews say a piece of meteorite may have fallen through someone's roof. Mike Henke with the American Meteor Society says while these fireballs enter the atmosphere at incredible speeds, what hits the ground is far less dramatic.
When they hit Earth's atmosphere, they could be going 50,000 miles per hour or faster, but they quickly decelerate. And by the time they come and they stop all their cosmic velocity at like 20,000 or 30,000 feet up. And by the time they hit your roof, they're going about the speed of a golf ball or maybe a little bit faster. So still hundreds of miles an hour, but a far cry from the 50,000 miles an hour.
Still not what you want to hear at all when you're talking about something hitting your home. Fortunately, though, no injuries have been reported.
Got to think about it. Had to land somewhere. We see those clear blue skies. Meteorologist Melissa Nord digging into this. The science of this is pretty fascinating.
It is. I mean, it's going so fast and it's so large. It hits the friction of the Earth's atmosphere, and that's how you get the sonic boom as it's trying to slow itself down. And small fragments have reached the ground. Those are called meteorites. So we do know in Henry County, one actually went through somebody's roof all the way through the floor into the foundation. And luckily, as far as we know, nobody was hurt there, but a lot of photos and videos coming in.
We are also hearing that part of that meteorite went through someone's home, their roof there in McDonough, Chase?
Yeah, it sure did. So according to the Henry County Emergency Management, it went through the roof, through the laminate flooring, and into the foundation of the home. And what's really incredible about all this, if you've seen the photos, it's the size of like a quarter. So imagine how fast that rock must have been moving through the atmosphere to make that kind of damage. And I also spoke to a guy named Mike in McDonough who says he was on the phone with his mom when that sonic boom moved through the area.
When the house started to shake and you started hearing the loud, the rumbling, I just told her to hold on a minute. She's like, what? I said, hang on just a minute. I said, there's something going on here. I don't know what it is. And it seemed to last about 15 seconds and it was over. And then I was like, I don't know what that was, but it was strange. And then I just continued on with my conversation. And then I asked my wife when I hung up the phone, I said, did you feel and hear all that? She said, yeah. And that was all I didn't think anything else about it until I heard the news about what they're saying.
Yeah, so about 30 minutes ago, I got an email from Rosal Gadden, who works over at State Farm, and they tell me that your home, if you was to get damaged by a meteor, it's insured. They think of everything, you guys. Look at that.
All right, Chase, thank you so much. We appreciate that update. 11 Live's Cody Alcorn live for us tonight in Atlanta with the videos, all of the reaction, and the damage that's possibly linked to that sky-high sighting, Cody.
That's right, Jennifer and Ron. People started looking in the sky just before 1 o'clock today, seeing that fireball shoot across. It was so bright, people captured it on their surveillance system, dash cameras, even seen it 14,000 feet up in the air. And tonight, we're hearing from some of those who saw that flash of light. The video's stunning. A flash of light racing across the afternoon sky. A security camera captured the moment in Columbia, South Carolina. This security footage caught the fireball from Greenwood, South Carolina. Catherine Farr was driving along I-85 in the Palmetto State when her dash cam caught it, but she still couldn't believe it.
I just saw like a bright flash. It definitely looked like something was on fire.
In Athens, Georgia, pastors David and Diane Lester were on their way to church when they saw it.
So we have a church conversation, and we just all of a sudden just saw it.
Yes.
Looked up, and we was
and you know, by being spiritual minded, is this that day? Seeing that and knowing, you know, with a spiritual mindset.
Yeah.
I'm thinking this is the last day.
Oh my God.
You know, with all that is going on.
Yes,
you know.
everything that's going on, and to be riding and look up and see something, like, no.
And get this, the fireball was even seen by skydivers 14,000 feet over Chester, South Carolina.
It was definitely a lot brighter in person than it was in the video. It definitely got my attention.
Brian Martins, a skydiving instructor at Skydive Carolina.
So if anybody's ever been lucky enough to catch a meteorite during the day on a skydive.
But this might be even more unreal. In McDonough, Georgia, a family's home was damaged by what emergency management believes could be a piece of the meteorite. Mike Hankey with the American Meteor Society spoke with meteorologist Melissa Nord about what happens when one of these fireballs makes impact.
They stop all their cosmic velocity at like 20,000 or 30,000 feet up. And by the time they hit your roof, they're going about the speed of a golf ball or maybe a little bit faster. You don't want to get hit by one. They can cause a lot of harm, damages. They'll go through multiple floors of a home oftentimes. But believe it or not, it is a blessing to have your home hit by a meteorite because it's a very rare thing to happen, as long as no one's hurt in the process.
Some may argue it about being a blessing, but again, no one was hurt, and this fireball was seen in Tennessee, the Carolinas, here in Georgia and Florida. And here in Georgia, in the southern part of Georgia and here in central Georgia and North Georgia, they actually felt that shaking of the ground, possibly like an earthquake. The National Weather Service, that was said, that came from the sonic boom caused by this meteorite.
Hey, this morning, people all across the southeast are still talking about this, a rare sight in the skies. Spotted yesterday afternoon, you can see it right there, a fireball that the American Meteor Society is describing as a bolide. It's a rare meteor that explodes in the sky and create a sonic boom.
Yeah, it was seen across multiple states. And take a look at the damage. Emergency officials believe a piece of it went through the roof of a home in McDonough.
Yeah, a skydiver also got an up close and personal look, diving right alongside it. This was in Chester, South Carolina. Look at that. Others caught it on camera too. Some people in parts of Georgia tell us they felt the ground shake. Others thought it was the end of times.
You know, by being spiritual minded, is this that day? Seeing that and knowing, you know, with a spiritual mindset, I'm thinking this is the last day.
Oh my God.
I love hearing from them. Those, by the way, are two pastors from Athens. They were on their way to church when they saw that meteor. And a lot of us have been talking about this. Chesley, you were getting calls about this yesterday as well.
Yeah, a lot of my friends say, hey, man, you didn't order up this fireball, you know, this kind of thing. And I'm like, what are you talking about? So I had to find out what was going on. But yeah, a lot of folks, when they see things in the sky, I get a lot of calls, you know. But that's really, you know, outer space. That's entering into our space. It's not my territory technically, but we do study some of it.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Astronauts and all that kind of thing. It's outer space.
Well, we're sending people to space now. You could be next.
Well, I'd go.
Oh, you would?
I'd go. Yes, I would.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I'd go.
And I think it's so funny from the pastors. They're like, is this the rapture?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you think that?
Maybe I need to go to Bible study, Chesley.
Maybe you should start.
Yeah, I'm going to come.
That damage on that guy's roof, though, I would never fix that. I would be like, that's where a meteor came through my roof.
Museum.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Well, now we know.
Yeah, so Nicole, I know you're not like an astronaut, but as a meteorologist, you know, it's pretty cool.
You know, I didn't see it. I didn't hear it. And I feel like I missed out. It's all anyone was talking about yesterday, and I missed it.
Yeah, and it was funny hearing from the pastors. They're like, is this the rapture? Is God coming back?
I mean, we've had earthquakes, meteors. We've had it all this year so far. So, I mean, I don't want to say.
Exactly. And it's super hot. So
it is.
We got to get our life together, Nicole.
I know we do.
People are still talking about the meteor sighting here in Metro Atlanta and beyond. This including a Georgia man who captured it on his dash cam while driving.
Oh, he'll be sharing that video for years, right? Maggie Fitzgerald talked with the driver and an astronomy professor for a closer look at what happened.
I live out in the country, so at night I see shooting stars. So at night, it really doesn't shock me or anything.
It's a bird? It's a plane? Nope. It's a meteor. And for Josh Grant, it's something he wouldn't typically blink twice about. But seeing a fiery streak during the daytime, it caught him and hundreds of others a bit off guard.
Didn't know what it was. Based on the world today, you never know. So that's why I thought it was interesting, but maybe be a once-in-a-lifetime video if it was a meteorite during the day.
But a sighting like that isn't as rare as it may seem, according to Professor Matthew Marone. He teaches all things astronomy and physics at Mercer University.
Not unusual for these kind of things to happen. I wouldn't be panicked about it. I would be excited to go out there and actually see if I can find a piece of it. But I wouldn't be panicking about it.
According to emergency management crews, a piece of that meteor, about an inch long, was found in Henry County on Thursday. Marone has his own meteorite collection and explains when meteors come in very fast, the frictional heating can make them incredibly bright.
Any black is the fusion crust, where the outer part of the rock had been melted. And again, we saw this thing being very, very bright, right? So it's very hot and incandescent.
Pieces like this are often debris left behind from a comet. In this instance, Marone says, the Pons-Winnicott comet, which creates an annual meteor shower during orbit this time of year.
All right, and take a look at this. We are just getting in some new images of pieces of the meteorite that slammed into a Henry County home yesterday. You can see this quarter-sized object. It made it all the way into the home's foundation.
That's really incredible.
I mean, they go so quickly, but as she was explaining in the package, there's so much friction. They go from outer space to our atmosphere, and they get so hot trying to slow down, but still, I mean, that's going faster than a bullet straight through the roof into the foundation. It is a miracle that they were not actually there in that exact location at that time.
It really is a best case scenario in every way because nobody was hurt, the damage was minimal, but also fascinating that so many people got to see it and this conversation that really just keeps growing and growing and growing.
Yeah.
And those little rocks that he has, very valuable.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Do not
eBay,
give them
here we
away.
come.
Yes, and there's going to be people who will try to say, oh, I have the rocks, I have the meteorites. No, those are, keep those under wraps. They are very rare because they came from bolide, a bolide, much more rare than a normal fireball. I'm geeking out, sorry.
No, I love it. I love all about it. We have a closer look at the video of the meteor shower sightings from here in Metro Atlanta on 11alive.com. If you haven't yet, be sure and check it out.